Hello, beautiful people. Happy Monday. We are back. And welcome to another episode of Point of View. Y'all go ahead. Clap, clap. Go ahead. Yes. We are excited to have both Ree and Dr. Willie Montague back to the table with us today. Yes.
Who are we more excited to have?
Okay.
Yeah,
let's not do that. Coming up, if you haven't, we're happy to have both of them back. Yes. Coming up, if you haven't heard, Shannon Sharpe is caught up in a civil lawsuit in Nevada. A woman identified as Jane Doe, is she still identified as Jane Doe? Is accusing him of sexual assault and battery. And now there has been a surprising development. We've got the details. And later, don't you go anywhere. We've got Girlfriend's Guide and Unpopular Opinion coming your way. So pull up a seat and join the discussion. You're watching POV. Just when it looked like things were about to heat up in the $50 million lawsuit against Shannon Sharpe, the courtroom was left in silence. The woman accusing the former NFL star of sexual misconduct and her high-powered attorney, Tony Busby, were complete no-shows at the very first hearing. No call, no explanation, nothing, just didn't show up. Now the case is hanging in legal limbo, and folks are wondering, was this a strategic move, or is the whole case starting to unravel? Let's see what we think here.
That is very weird.
Yeah, because usually you show up or at least
say something.
Send an explanation.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Since I've been gone for most of last week, I'll jump right on in for y'all.
Yeah.
First and foremost, I want to say that Tony Busby just seems to be a clout-chasing attorney. So I really want to believe that Shannon Sharpe done cut that check, and that is why they are silent as can be.
Oh, I hope it didn't come down to that. I'm really hoping that it's found out that he didn't do it. He didn't do anything of sordid nature. But sometimes I think, these lawsuits come up to extort money. Yeah. Sometimes, again, targeting, as I said before, sometimes to disrupt somebody or ruin their character, because all you have is your name. Yeah. You have your name, and once that's destroyed, I mean, what do you have after that? Yeah. And I'm really hoping that he didn't do it and that he will learn his lesson to, like Monique said, get with an older woman, a woman your age, that you can actually settle down with and have good spirit things with.
How do you,
okay.
Because I'm curious. I want to know how Willie feel about it.
Well, I personally feel like, let's start here. I personally feel like if the attorney did not show up, that really just shows that is nothing serious to it, because normally it is your client that doesn't have to appear. The attorney is sent to represent the client. So for both of them not to show up, that just shows that they really just don't have the teeth to sink into it to be able to get it done. So I think it just need to be dismissed. The fact that it's hanging in legal limbo lets me know that that there's somebody out there just hoping to like call them and like, hey, y'all know, did you forget court was today? Like, just let it go, because in normal circumstances, the case would have been dismissed.
So we don't really know yet, but do you think this sets a precedence of how this, like other people, other entertainers or other, wealthy people, black men, are going to be treated or handle the cases from now on?
Let me just say this to our black brothers. Keep your penis in your pants. This is very important.
That's good.
That as you go out there and you're doing, get NDAs if you're going to be out there and be a little flirtatious. Get NDAs, get people to sign it. Even if you're not going to have sex, get NDAs to protect that, and non-disclosure agreements, and also non-compete agreements for other contractual things. Because really, in today's world with these type of entertainers, sex is even contractual. So you need to be able to make sure that you protect yourself all the way around.
Yeah.
And then after that, now that's me saying that side. On the other side of it is you guys need to just settle down. These people are too old to be out here.
And that's what Monique was telling him.
All these different, this girl, that girl, and stuff like that. Let Lazarus rest. Yeah. And then find you somebody to settle down with so it can rise properly.
Telling you was gonna say something.
Lord.
Right? Didn't he say
This
it?
man said so. Oh, it can rise properly. May the Lord be with you, really, honey, and with us all. But I guess I'm just my mind keeps going back to the, kind of the facts of the case when it was initially unraveling, and a kind of like the threats and things. And so we want to, of course, now it's easy to say we don't want to believe that he did anything wrong.
Yeah.
And technically, it gives that it was 100% consensual, but it gave that she also was exploiting him and was kind of keeping receipts and things like that.
Yeah.
And I mean, I agree with what Willie said, what y'all are saying at the end of the day. Just tie it down, lay it down, sit it down, especially Shannon Sharpe. That's what happens when these old men get in the gym, they get a little bit more pumped up, the things start coming back up because I'm sure it was down for a while.
Oh my
and now they don't know
goodness,
how to sit it down. That's the problem.
Oh my goodness. Do y'all hear this? Okay. Wow. Well, speaking of cases, oh my goodness. Y'all not gonna like this one. A 26-year-old McDonald's employee in East Point, Michigan is facing first-degree murder charges after allegedly stabbing her manager up to 15 times after clocking out. Police says she left, grabbed a knife from her car, came back wearing a mask, and launched a deadly attack on 39-year-old Jennifer Harris, a mother of 6. The suspect, Afeni Badu Muhammad, reportedly posted videos beforehand calling her manager a bully and complaining about mistreatment at work, raising questions about premeditation. Now the feedback has been split. Some folks believe her actions were the result of deeper issues like bullying and mental stress. Others say it's no excuse for that kind of violence. What do y'all think?
I feel like 50-50. Like,
50-50.
I don't think she should have went and killed her manager or anything, but I don't believe in, like, bullying and mistreating somebody either. Not saying that she deserved to get stabbed, but it's just certain ways you treat anybody. And I have seen, some managers talk to you any kind of way, make you feel less than,
That's
you.
what she
But
said.
You can literally quit though.
Yeah.
But she still don't deserve to get treated bad, and she didn't deserve to die.
Right.
So she should have just walked away.
It would have been good because
would've been great.
now, like, what time is she facing?
Correct.
She committed a murder now.
Yes.
She need to go underneath the jail because first and foremost, watching some of the clips, from what she was saying, pre, what happened, because this was premeditated. Let's say that first and foremost.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, this young lady gave straight lunatic vibes to me.
geez.
And it gave that she is weighed down by her economic burden.
Yeah.
And she's looking for McDonald's to sustain and be able to pay all of her bills. If there are no hours, baby, and nobody's coming to get these Big Macs and these chicken nuggets, I'm going to have to send you home. That is not bullying. You know what I'm saying? And so, it's just so sad to see how people's mind works and how they really convince themselves that they're being victimized when really this is just the way of life. This is what's happening. If there's nothing available, then we have extra people on the schedule. I got to send you home. And this lady, a mother of 6, has lost her life. On top of that, this young lady, Afeni Badu Muhammad, whatever her name is, she is a lunatic because she done made that name up now. She made that name up. She done took that up. She took something from Tupac Shakur Muhammad. This one from Elijah Muhammad, Erica Badu. You can tell she doesn't know who she is. She wants to be something to everybody, and she is delusional, and now you done took this lady's life. They need to get later death penalty.
And it does depend on the work they do. It does depend on the work ethic because, if this manager is seeing that because if you actually kind of look, you can look in people's eyes sometimes and see it. And then it does look like she was just a little off. And if she's at work showing that she's just not able to do a simple task at work, and the manager's like, hey, I remember I was actually one time a manager at McDonald's, and we did have some people like, we don't mind you being here 2 days a week, these many hours. And we had to tell them in a legal manner, like, this is why, like, we need people who can keep up with the daily tasks. And so at least you being able to come to work. Some people can't even clock in. They don't have the ability to go to a job. And we get it's tough for everybody, but going out there 39 times, that was something deeper.
Well, she said this was her second day. Like, she came in on her day off. And she said that this woman had been bullying her, that she talks to all the people. She talks down to everyone. She said, you know, I should whip y'all like I whip my kids or something like that. You know, she said, you know, the lady was really treating them bad.
No, this lady had a victim mentality because you can tell even when she was saying that, you know, version.
Yes.
It sounded like, you know, the manager was kind of joking around, like, y'all working so slow, I could just take my belt off right now. You know what I'm saying? And then she's the one that said, oh, we not your kids. Like, she was taking it too far. That's why I'm telling you, honey.
But I thought I read something that she did this in 2022.
Yeah. Do you?
The victim or the one who killed the lady?
She has been convicted of stabbing before. This is not her first time.
Okay, all right, but y'all trying to talk about 50-50 and the girl was getting bullied, honey. The girl is insane. Don't let her back out this time.
Yeah, she did. I think in 2022.
What do y'all think about this workplace rage? You know, are we just ignoring the mental health issues in the workplace?
Well, that's your problem. You need to go and get mental health. You come into work because you fill out that application saying you're able to do the task.
Yeah.
And so you get here, we ask you to lift up a bag of fries, and you have a mental breakdown, you need to go home.
No, but it is some people. No, it's some people when you go to a workplace. Because I done had bosses who talked to me like I was literally nothing, especially at a young age, like for no reason, just wanted to, you know,
because that's who they are.
Because they felt like they were the boss and they just wanted to be nasty for no reason. Yeah. So I used to have that, and it was just like, why are you being nasty for no reason? So you got some people who get into a position and they abuse their position just because they never had a position.
Well, I say that you give black people a computer, some chairs.
I was trying not to say it.
And they don't know what to do.
I was trying not to say it.
This day, get my iPad. It's crazy though, because that's why I could never work on nobody's job. This is my first job.
We have to take a quick commercial break, but don't go anywhere. We have more to discuss coming up right after this, so stay tuned. You're watching POV.
Hey y'all, happy Monday. Shout out to our viewers that are sticking with us on this quick commercial break at home. We have a question for you guys and as well as one for us at the table. The question is, what is a subtle sign that someone is not a good person?
I think sometimes the way people can look at you, sometimes they just like kind of side eye you. They don't really like look at you face to face. They just be like, you know, and I think that's a subtle sign that they're not very nice.
I think when someone walks in with a friend and they be giggling and laughing with the friend, and then as soon as the friend walk off, they say something about the friend. I have a huge problem with that. That's just no. I don't like you.
But then you'll say something about me.
Correct.
Yes.
I got two. One of them is when someone walks into the room and doesn't speak.
Oh, I was going to say
me, that is a telltale sign that they're not really a good person. Because no matter what, there's some people that think that, oh, I walk in, y'all need to speak to me. And then I just feel like if you're a good person and you're inviting, you're going to come in and you're just going to say a general hello.
That's right.
And also, people that be having all this hatred towards their mama, I don't care how bad your mama was, baby. If you can't forgive her, you ain't that good of a person to me.
No. I don't agree with Tally. I don't think, because some people wasn't raised.
We're not going
no, some people wasn't raised to walk in and speak. Some people wasn't, but that don't mean they're not a good person. They just need to be taught.
No, I know. That's the generation, because this generation is full of weak knees in this society.
Jellyback, what you call it?
Weak knees, jellyback cowards. That's what we got in this generation.
So what you feel like?
We got soy boys. That's it. Y'all.
Because you're supposed to talk, right? Yeah, but y'all don't go nowhere. We right back to the show in a few seconds. You're watching POV.
Welcome back. Now it's time to get into all things love, life, relationships, and everything in between. Let's get into Girlfriend's Guide. Oftentimes we talk about love and loyalty, but let's talk about love and longevity, or the lack of it. Stats show that the average marriage in the U.S. today lasts just about 8 years before ending in divorce. Apparently, if you make it past that mark, chances are you're in for the long haul, like 20 plus years. Back in the day, think 60s through the 80s, couples were sticking it out, even if they were miserable. Cultural expectations, money issues, and religious beliefs often kept people together. But now, divorce seems to be the easiest, most acceptable route to just like move on. What y'all think about it?
I'm not saying no one miserable.
No,
I wish marriage was
not.
Marriage is different, though. Marriage is supposed to be different.
It is, but it's not about being miserable. It's about working through situations. Some people just make it miserable because you're already a miserable person.
Right.
I always love to quote this. I'd rather be on the rooftop than in the house with a quarrelsome woman. Sometimes you just have women. Sometimes you just have women.
What? Come on.
Sometimes you just have women who are not able to get past traumas in homes or past relationships. They drag it in. You start arguments, and then that's for the women. Then on the male side, they have father issues, and then y'all two get together and like, oh, we love each other today. Oh, you like that shampoo? I like to let me rub your back. Let me put rose and petals. And then after a while, you're like, okay, all of that honeymoon stuff is gone. Now we got to pay the bills. We got to do that. And now you never discuss the actual importance of a relationship versus trying to have sex and be. I can't say that on air.
Stop looking at me.
Don't say Willie.
I was about to say.
Absolutely.
My goodness.
I'll let you take over. The Lord arrested me.
Glory to
You know
God.
what I do want to say, too, so at church right now, I go to Truth Movement Church in Orlando, Florida, in case any of y'all want to know. But anyway, so amazing church, amazing pastor. So right now, our pastor's on a topic called real relationships. And so this Sunday, the topic was, like, let's just be friends, or let's be friends first.
Yeah.
And I think that is a fundamental, thing that's missing in relationships today. Before, it was the foundation because most relationships were built on Christ and marriage and religious belief. But right now, as the Bible says, in the end days, men will be lovers of themselves and not lovers of God. So we don't have that. So now we're building relationships off of what we think and what we expect. And 9 times out of 10, we're not friends first. So when it comes to the hard times in life where I really need to like you to be able to get through and get over that hump, I don't like you, you're not my friend. And that's why people are exiting.
But a lot of times people don't like themselves in this marriage, or they haven't gotten to know themselves. They don't know what they want. They don't know who they are. They don't know what to expect. A lot of times they want things that they're not even showing up for themselves for. So it's like you want someone else to show up for you, but you haven't shown up for yourself. You don't know who you are. And those expectations, you're putting them off on someone else when you're not meeting them. And that's something I think people really need to consider and think about.
I think everybody should go to therapy first, separate, to figure themselves out. Like the man go, the woman go, and then they can go as a couple, and then they get married.
I think therapy needs to be within the confines of spiritualities for where you are. We have a lot of therapists that are witches and warlocks. And I believe whenever you get in front of these individuals, I'm just saying it bluntly, when you get in front of these individuals, there's a lot of draining that comes from some. They may be attempting to help you, but oftentimes their relationships are disastrous, because I hear all the time how therapists need therapists, and that therapists need a therapist. So I feel like in essence, you need to be able to know for yourself, because it makes it very clear in scripture about the connectivity you have. You leave from your mother and your father, you cleave to the spouse. If you cleave into your wife and that's bone of your bone, there's something in you that should want you to fight for that. But you have to first fight for yourself, as Raquel said. Love yourself, love that which is in you, and then go out and fight for what you believe. But there are just a lot of miserable people. This Gen Z generation, I believe, is going to be the most single generation, the Gen Z and Alphas, because they don't. It's easier to not commit and to sleep around and be a whore and a slut and a floozy than it is for you to be able to be committed. And yes, I said all those words.
Ridiculous. Yeah, I mean,
Give me a hand. I agree. You agree on something.
Yeah, and then you said about cleaving.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you have that issue as well, that, the in-laws are interfering. The in-laws are saying something here, a lot of, being in one's ear, making them feel insecure about the marriage, making them feel like, oh, this person, people sometimes have things to say about others, and it's not allowing people to come together. And rather than helping this couple come together, they're doing a lot of work to make sure they stay separate and to separate them. And, you know, I think a lot of times in-laws maybe they're not sure of the word or sure of what it actually says to them about, you know, interfering in marriages. Saying the things you shouldn't say that is unfortunately breaking down that marriage and breaking down, you know, their children in that marriage.
Your parents should stay out of the business. Because that's your marriage. But I just think that marriages are separating in today's age because, again, is not actually being taught properly anymore too. Most people, this is the most godless generation we've ever seen. In the book of, I believe it's in Judges, it said there will be or Deuteronomy, it was said there will be a nation that knows not thou God. That there will be a generation. And this is the generation. Because if you look at the generation before, it was look at Gen X and baby boomer when they were always in church, always praising. And now look at generation is a generation that know not God. They don't. It's a godless generation.
Wow.
Jesus.
Pull out your word, y'all. Get to know the Lord. Get to know him for yourself. It's important. Repent. All right, moving on to our next segment where things might get a little spicy. We don't always see eye to eye, as y'all know, and that's the whole point. And I think we probably not going to see eye to eye now, especially with this Willie. Okay, it's time for unpopular opinion. Tally said, oh, Lord, there we go. All right. Reports say that the Trump administration quietly removed the Martin Luther King Jr. bust from the Oval Office. Yes, removed, tossed it out, and replaced it with a bust of Winston Churchill. The MLK statue, originally placed there by President Obama in 2009, has allegedly been moved to a private dining room. Now, sure, it might just seem like, you know, redecorating, but when you remove that particular symbol from that particular room, people are going to talk. So here's the question. Was this just about aesthetics, or does it say something deeper about values and priorities and how we want to shape the future of America and lead it along the way?
Wait a minute. I'm really about to just try to jump in real quick, and I want to redirect him before you come in your direction.
He might surprise us today.
I don't know. The way he breathed hard when you were saying it, I don't know. I kind of felt where he was going already. But what I do want to say, Willie, don't always be taken up for chump, okay? For chump, not Trump, for chump. Keep it G, man.
Okay, so
Thank you.
I'm not taking up for Trump, but I want you guys to understand how it works with the decorations in the White House. As it was stated, where was Martin Luther King's statue prior to
2009, President Obama.
2009, correct?
Yes.
Every president has the ability, and if you actually read the article, it states that in Trump's first administration, it stayed in the Oval Office.
Okay.
It is up to every president to decorate the White House according to their liking, such as President Obama, who decided to move the bowling alley and put a basketball court in it. And so no one made that a whole big deal.
Well,
so,
white man can't jump.
They hadn't been jumping for all the 45 presidents. So they come back.
Goodness.
And so he's moving it not out of the White House. He just simply put it in a private. And you actually research the place he put it. It actually, to me, speaks more volumes because it's where he has the intimate conversations with heads of state and stuff. So I think that speaks more.
What he put in the
But it says,
No,
but the article said
in a private dining.
But the article said that's where the former president has his meeting. It didn't say like Donald Trump has meetings there. The former president has meetings there.
He has
His meetings are on the golf course.
He has.
Heard.
Well,
Right.
I mean that's
For
where
billions of dollars?
That's where all the money is made. But he has that. But nonetheless, I would just simply say, not me taking up for President Trump, but the man can decorate as he desires. And I want y'all to know this, that President Trump works closely with the King family. Angela Stanton King, Dr. Alveda King, Mama King. And he works closely with the King family in keeping up with Dr. King's legacy. And that is something that he protects. And if you actually go research and see, he's very big into that.
All right. Well, I want to say if it is something that he protects and he's keeping up with the legacy, maybe he can do some work. Maybe you can call him and ask him after this show if he can, give Martin Luther King better streets in the neighborhoods instead of always leading them on the little pro-black street.
Now, you know what I'm getting ready to say about that, Tally? That is on your state legislators and your local government, because they're the ones that put those streets, and they decide to put them in Negro areas that are poor. And so if you want something different, then you need to go down there and talk to your legislators and tell them to stop putting them in poor, ran down areas and give black people a sustainable opportunity like they give the white folks across any other posh area. That has nothing to do with President Trump or the current
And you
federal
know what?
administration.
Well,
I agree with you for the first time.
It's the second
I
you did it
was
again.
second, yeah. So I was going to come in petty as soon as I seen Trump.
Come in
and
petty.
I already had it blocked out. I didn't want to hear nothing. But I just sat and actually listened to what he was saying. So yes, he can. I think he should be able to decorate it how he wants. It's not like he moved it out.
But do you think that the Winston Churchill, like choosing that bus to put in there, do you think that symbolizes something?
No, he could just want to decorate.
Y'all go and research. Half of the people that sitting here don't even know who Winston Churchill is. Go out there and read and research Winston Churchill so you know the reason, the significance behind that. And y'all niggas love.
Okay, let me
arguing
say
anything.
some things I did research.
From what I know,
Churchill
he's a backdoor
supported
scammer.
Churchill. What it says, Churchill supported colonialism. He supported white supremacy.
A backdoor
It said
scammer,
that
like I said.
he opposed many Indian independence. He was a cause of like 3 million deaths that contributed from the Bengal famine. So those are different
Do we
things
want to
about
talk
Churchill.
about what
That's
Dr.
a
Martin
wrap
Luther King
for
contributed
today's
to?
That's a
show.
wrap.
And before
right,
we
'cause
wrap,
we can go there,
we'd like
buddy.
to leave you with a quote. Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. That's Dr. Martin Luther King. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll catch you next time right here on Point of View, only on Afro TV, darlings. See you next time.